Board games have entertained us for centuries, yet many intriguing details remain unknown. In this video, we'll uncover surprising facts about your favorite games that will astonish you. The grim origins of the game of life. These days, the game of life is all about cruising down life's highway, collecting pegs, and spinning your way to retirement. But the original version from 1860, called the checkered game of life, featured less cheerful stops like disgrace, crime, prison, and yes, even self-inflicted harm. The mastermind behind the creation was none other than Milton Bradley himself, who wasn't exactly living his best life at the time. His lithography business had just tanked when Abraham Lincoln decided to grow a beard, making Bradley's clean-shaven Lincoln portraits totally unsellable. Broke and desperate, Bradley sketched out a game that reflected his own struggles, and somehow it became a hit, the oldest game still played today. Invented in China over 2,500 years ago, Go is the world's oldest board game still being played today. Over 46 million people worldwide know how to play it, and it has over 20 million active players, mostly in East Asia. The game is deceptively simple. Two players place black and white stones on a grid's intersections, trying to capture territory. Stones can't be moved once placed, but they can be captured and removed. The game ends when both players agree no further moves are possible, and the score determines the winner. Clue's lead pipes were made of real lead. In the early days of Clue, or Cluedo as it's known in the UK, the game featured a weapon token that was as dangerous in real life as it was in the mansion, an actual lead pipe. Yes, the iconic token was originally made from real, poisonous lead. Thankfully, in 1965, it was swapped for steel and later pewter, much safer choices for budding detectives. Monopoly's financially indestructible bank. If the bank runs out of cash during a game of Monopoly, it's never game over. According to the official rules, the banker can simply issue more money by printing some or writing it on any scrap of paper. In other words, the bank can never truly go broke. Maybe that's why so many games end in violence. Trivial Pursuit's plagiarism scandal. Trivial Pursuit, the game your know-it-all and always dominates, ironically stumbled over its own trivia in the 1980s. The creators, Scott Abbott and Chris Haney, were hit with a $300 million lawsuit by Fred L. Worth, author of Super Trivia, Volume 2, after allegedly lifting over one-third of their questions from his book. Worth had even planted a fake fact as a trap, claiming Detective Columbo's first name was Philip. It's actually Frank. When that false answer showed up in Trivial Pursuit, Worth pounced. Unfortunately for him, the courts ruled that you can't copyright facts. Boggle's family-friendly design. Boggle is all about spotting words in scrambled 4 by 4 grid of letters, connecting them in any direction to score points. But here's a fun fact. To keep things wholesome, the letters F and K are on the same cube, so they can't appear on the grid at the same time. This clever design choice ensures no one can spell a certain 4-letter word, so it's safe for the whole family. Stealing from retirees. Not only did the original game of life have dubious themes like poverty and so on, today you can enjoy the game by stealing money from retirees. Now, I know plenty of people have no problem with this in real life, looking at you, governments, but in the game of life, it's right there in the rules. If a player retires to millionaire estates and all the life tokens are gone, their tokens are suddenly fair game for everyone else. Want to keep your hard-earned tokens safe? Retire to the much quieter countryside acres instead, where the biggest threat is boredom. Scrabble lets you twerk your way to victory. No, we're not referring to whatever looks like dance moves where you're from. Twerk is now a legal word in Scrabble. The game's official dictionary gets updated every year to reflect our ever-evolving language, meaning players can now use modern terms like EW, OK, and even bit for digital currency. Thanks to these updates, you got more ways to rack up points, and yes, even twerk your way to victory. Not everyone wins in Jenga. It's the ultimate moment of suspense. You carefully slide out that wobbly piece of wood, hold your breath, and stack it on top, only for the entire tower to come crashing down, to the delight of everyone yelling, Jenga! The block stacking game has been a party favorite for years, testing players' patience and steady hands. Most people celebrate when the tower falls, thinking it's a group effort. But according to the official rules, There's only one winner. The last person successfully pull and stack a block before disaster strikes. So next time you play, remember, it's not teamwork that makes the dream work. In Jenga, it's every hand for itself. The Aztec take on board games. The Americans don't take a backseat when it comes to ancient board games. Patali is proof of that. The Mesoamerican classic was loved by both commoners and nobles, so much so that even Emperor Montezuma himself was said to enjoy watching the game at court, a mix of strategy and luck. Patali was all about gambling. Players wagered just about everything, from food and blankets to precious stones, homes, and sometimes even their freedom. The goal was to move pieces across the board and win all your opponent's possessions. The stakes were so high and the losses so devastating that Spanish priests eventually outlawed the game during the conquest of Mexico. From ancient origins to modern twists, board games hold countless secrets. We hope these revelations enhance your appreciation and enjoyment. Stay tuned for more fascinating insights.